Hey, and welcome back to Alex Talking. Today I'm talking about the death of Robin Hood. I saw this last night with my wife, and I thought the trailer looked solid and was interested by the overall premise. The most promising selling point was Michael Stranowski, or sorry if that's not how you say your name, the guy that directed Pig, doing it um, for A24, which was interesting because I really liked Pig, but of course, whenever indie directors that you really like then get to, spread their wings and go straight to the studio system, sometimes that can really just make you not care anymore. He went and did A Quiet Place Day One, which I thought was really bad, and completely took him off my radar. Like, okay, the Pig guy made a terrible blockbuster. Who cares? Um, and then he came back with this, and I think this is such a great return to form because this is such a well made, lived in world that serves to make this my favorite Robin Hood since the Adventures of Robin Hood from the 30s. I really like Robin Hood Men in Tights, Robin Hood Prince of Thieves, if memory serves, is the one with Kevin Costner. I like that one too. Outside of them, I don't really like most of them. Like, I think the Ridley Scott one, unfortunately, is really bad. Um, and I think that a lot of modern Robin Hood adaptations have failed miserably. So, seeing them do a take of it that is so grim and gritty called The Death of Robin Hood, I was worried, what is this going to be like? A little bit too heavy handed, a little bit too bleak. I'm all for, hopeless cinema, but I don't know. I had reservations going into this, and I'll come right out and say that it was fantastic to me. It was what it needed to be in the first half, which was a brutal, relentless Zack Snyder's Robin Hood take on um, the folklore. Opening with you know what it opens with. I won't say in case you haven't seen it, but has a very visceral opening that completely sets the tone for the rest of the movie. And I think the whole first half really kept that tone and pace, and deliberately so switched it up in the second half to make this a really interesting rumination on moving on and letting go of vengeance and cyclical violence, and how the sins of the past never really stop haunting you. So I thought that this was just really a very well done movie from A24. I think that they could have marketed this way better, and this would be a big hit. It's hard to market something this violent, obviously, but I think that in the modern day, also, a lot of people would show up for something if they knew that it had action and cinematography and set design and everything this good. People who are into fantasy things, people who are really into violent fantasy things, um, would absolutely have a feast with this, I imagine. Between this and the Odyssey, I think that historical adaptations should be in for a really good summer. I hope the Odyssey goes the route this movie did in just, painting its overall setting and atmosphere because, um, you know, the backwoods of Nottingham or wherever this was supposed to be really just looked right out of the 1200s. Just kind of like the Northmen is the best comparison I can think of. If you've seen the Northmen, it looked and felt very, very similar to that. And that is nothing but a massive, massive compliment, and made the whole movie worth watching to me. Hugh Jackman's central performance as Robin Hood is great as well. And I think that the second half, being way, way different than the first, slowing gears down and being a much more, thoughtful look at the character of Robin Hood and, reckoning with the past. It could, not work for some. It took me a little bit to recalibrate with the movie. But overall, by the end, I found the ending very satisfying because I got back on the movie's wavelength and really, really enjoyed it. So, yes, I thought The Death of Robin Hood was just a extraordinarily well done, well acted, well shot movie that I had a great time pointing my eyeballs at, and I got a lot out of. I hope that you did as well. Let me know what you thought down in the comments of it, and I'll be going to see Toy Story 5 today, so I hope that's pretty good too. One last note, I saw this in a double feature with Gummo, Harmony Korine's movie from 1997. They showed it as the final movie of Bleak Week here in Denver at the C Film Center, and that was amazing, so I highly recommend Gummo. Thank you for watching. God bless. Have a great day.